of final stage of the upper limb में more efficiently perform कर सकें और जो deficiency on campus study फील हो सकती थी deficiency मतलब आपको ये on campus as compared with on campus and as compared with online तो उसको रिकवर किया जाता है इन वे के दोहरे तरीके से this class has been rather revised repeated rather we are going to cover the blood vessels and nerves of the anterior forearm so बच्चों as we are aware of कि anterior antebrachial compartment या posterior antebrachial compartment so here we are at this time we are concerned with anterior antebrachial compartment it is composed of the structure which are present on the anterior aspect of the forearm and the division between these two are the bones radius ulna and the interosseous membrane if we start from outside so initially is the skin superficial fascia and deep fascia but the deep fascia of the arm जो है that is enclosing the forearm just like a tight sleeve as is common with the deep fascia and other parts of the body in the arm forearm lower limb thigh and the leg so it is attached to the posterior border of the ulna and it forms a sheath for each muscle and for each group of muscles जिस तरह हमने पढ़ा in the initial introduction to anatomy every muscle fiber is enclosed in a sheath of the connective tissue known as the endometrium then the group of muscle fibers is enclosed in a sheath which is known as the perimysium and the whole muscle is enclosed in epimysium so endo peri epi this is the sequence of the connective tissue fibers starting from the minute structural detail up to the whole structure of the organ interosseous so deep fascia facial sheaths together with the interosseous membrane and the fibrous intermuscular septa जो अंडर सरफेस ऑफ द डीप फेशिया है उससे पार्टीशंस रन करती हैं बिटवीन द मसल्स जो कि इंटरमस्कुलर सेप्टा कहलाता है and that divides the forearm into several compartments each having its own muscle nerves and the blood supply the most important one the interosseous membrane it is a strong fibrous membrane that unites the shafts of radius ulna और उनके जो इंटरनल इंटरॉसियस बॉर्डर्स होते हैं लैटरल बॉर्डर ऑफ द अल्ना एंड मीडियल बॉर्डर ऑफ द रेडियस को लगा होता है जो कि इंटरॉसियस कहलाते हैं तो इनकी डायरेक्शन ऑफ इट्स फाइबर जो है दैट इज डाउनवर्ड्स एंड मीडियली और इट्स फाइबर्स आर टॉट व्हेन द फोर आर्म्स इन द मिड प्रोन पोजीशन जिस तरह लिखने की मैकेनिज्म ऑफ राइटिंग वाली प्रेजेंटेशन में बताया गया था व्हिच इज द पोजीशन ऑफ द फंक्शन तो डॉर्सल मेम्ब्रेन जो है that provides strength to the two bones and provides additional surface for attachment of the muscles also और उसके अलावा इसका और मेजर फंक्शन है कि it transmits the thrust from the fall on outstretched hand from the radius to the ulna क्योंकि ulna का ऊपर जो joint with the humerus है that is a hook like structure so that thrust is transferred from radius to the ulna and then to the lower end of the humerus so this is the interosseous membrane in the radius and the ulna the interosseous membrane of both of the bones and as we can see the fibers are running in downwards and medial direction, so that when the person falls on the outstretched hand, हथेली के बल बंदा इत्तेफाक से अगर गिर जाए, तो that thrust from the hand is transferred to the lower end of the radius. The lower end of the radius से फिर that thrust to the direction of these fibers, that is transferred to the ulna, और ulna ऊपर जाके making the humero-ulnar joint through this mechanism of the coronoid process and the olecranon process that transmits whole of the thrust toward the lower end of the humerus. You follow? You are listening me, bacho?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now we proceed forwards to contents of the compartment of forearm muscles. There is a superficial.
Yes, sir.
Muscles, superficial muscles which are consisting of the pronator teres, flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor carpi radialis, and palmaris longus and flexor carpi ulnaris. These are superficial group. अब deep group में कौन से आते हैं? Flexors, pollicis longus, digitorum profundus, pronator quadratus. These are the muscles of the deep group, the superficial and deep group. और जो vessels हैं, they are the ulnar and the radial arteries, which are terminal branches of the brachial artery at the bifurcation of the brachial artery in the cubital fossa. Now we are focusing on the blood vessels of the anterior compartment of the forearm. This is the brachial artery, which is passing along the side of the biceps tendon and a sort of cord-like structure which is extending from the tendon of the biceps, that is enclosing it. So along with that, on the medial aspect, passing behind this is the medial epicondyle, and ulnar nerve is passing behind this, behind the common flexor origin. And the brachial artery in the cubital fossa divides into its terminal branches. The one running on the lateral aspect is the radial artery, and the other one running towards the medial aspect is the ulnar. Ulnar is relatively a larger branch and is more in line with the main trunk of the brachial artery. This divides into various branches which are known as initially common interosseous. Then the common interosseous divides into anterior interosseous artery and the posterior interosseous artery. The ulnar also gives branches which take part in anastomosis around the elbow joint. We are aware of from our knowledge in the background that there is a superior ulnar collateral and there is an inferior ulnar collateral which arises from the brachial artery in the mid and in the lower 1/3 of the arm. The superior ulnar collateral goes on the back of the medial epicondyle, while the inferior ulnar collateral remains on the front. They anastomose with interosseous recurrent with the ulnar recurrent branches. Ulnar recurrent जो कि ulna से निकल रही है, ulnar artery से स्टेज पे. One is anterior ulnar recurrent and other is the posterior ulnar recurrent. They take part in anastomosis around the medial epicondyle. And there's the interosseous recurrent, which is common interosseous, and then the anterior interosseous, posterior interosseous, and common interosseous से ही interosseous recurrent भी निकलती है, which takes part in anastomosis on the lateral aspect. तो lateral aspect से एक radial collateral आ रही है और एक middle collateral आ रही है, which is descending branch of the profunda brachii. They take part in anastomosis around the lateral epicondyle here at this level. Now the anterior common interosseous divides into anterior anterior and the posterior interosseous. Anterior जो है that runs on the anterior aspect of the interosseous membrane up to the proximal border of the pronator quadratus muscle, and then it penetrates back and then takes part in formation of the dorsal carpal arch. That takes part in the formation of the dorsal carpal arch, while the posterior interosseous that is already traveled to the posterior compartment at the upper part of the forearm, and that runs on the posterior aspect of the interosseous membrane and to participate in the formation of the dorsal carpal arch. Arches commonly superficial and deep palmar arch ही famous है, लेकिन there are other arches which are the dorsal carpal and the palmar carpal arches, which are formed in front of the carpal bones and on the back of the carpal bones. So first we will consider the radial artery beta. So radial artery turns on the lateral aspect of the forearm before it reaches the wrist joint, wrist area, and branches out to supply the hand. अब क्लिनिकल सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है कि जो अल्नर रेडियल आर्टरी है that goes on the posterior aspect of, rather on the lateral aspect of the wrist joint, and here in the anatomical snuff box it gives a superficial branch which takes part in the formation of the superficial palmar arch, and it continues itself as the deep branch which forms the deep palmar arch with the deep branch of the ulnar artery. Superficial palmar arch is direct continuation of the ulnar, while the deep palmar arch is direct continuation of the radial artery. As long as the clinicals for the radial are concerned, radial pulse is the common trend to feel the radial pulse anywhere in all disciplines of the treatment, in all modalities of the treatment like Hikmat, Tib, but in the modern era, the most of our house physicians are not giving so much importance to the palpation of the radial pulse. It gives so many informations, the palpation of the radial pulse, about the regularity, about the volume of the pulse. If the person is dehydrated due to diarrhea, the pulse will be very feeble, बड़ी हल्की सी और मरियल सी नब्ज़ होगी. अगर ब्लड प्रेशर है, हाइपरटेंशन है, तो उस सूरत में that is bounding pulse that strikes against the pulp of the fingers of the examiner. So the palpated radial pulse is palpated in the lower part of the forearm, immediately lateral to the prominent tendon of the flexor carpi radialis muscle. Moreover, it is the common site for the coronary artery angiography. The common trend is the use of the radial artery. The other trend is use of the femoral one, but the commonest approach these days in cardiology is the use of the radial artery for coronary artery bypass graft or stenting. Now we are going towards the ulnar artery. Ulnar, as I pointed out, is larger relatively in diameter. It gives rise initially to the common interosseous and anterior and posterior ulnar recurrent branches, which take part in anastomosis around the medial border of the medial end of the elbow joint. It runs down, giving various muscular branches, and then at the level of the wrist joint, just near the head of the ulna, it gives a superficial, a deep branch and a superficial branch one. The deep जो है वो deep palmar arch बनाएगी और superficial जो है that form the superficial palmar arch with the superior branch of the radial artery. और इसकी जो deep branch है that joins the direct continuation of the radial to form the deep palmar arch. Okay, these superficial and deep palmar arches then give the common digital arteries, and then they reach the web spaces. Here they divide into the proper digital arteries which reach the pulp of the fingers. So the ulnar, the radial and the common trochleus, their participation in anastomosis in participation in anastomosis around elbow, their muscular branches, their periarticular arterial twigs, and various muscular branches. These are the muscular branches of the arteries which are going towards the regional muscles. And here, coming at this level, they form the dorsal carpal arch and the palmar carpal arch. And these are superficial and deep palmar arches. They are other main vascular networks, the vascular channels present on the front of the forearm. अच्छा, और जो ulnar artery की importance है कि it passes in front of the flexor retinaculum. Most of the times question आता है, name the structures passing in front of the flexor retinaculum. Is superficial and deep to the flexor retinaculum. Yeah, you can be asked to draw and label the structures passing in front, passing superficial and deep to the flexor retinaculum. So both type of questions will be tackled or solved if you have the concept. Okay, what are the structures superficial and what are the structures deep to the flexor retinaculum and in front of the carpal bones. Now, next we move towards the veins. Ulnar artery. We are moving towards the vein, ulnar artery and superficial palmar arch, radial artery and the deep palmar arch, and various other front and dorsal pain, superficial and deep, dorsal and carpal palmar arches. They are the separate ones. Now they are the veins, the deep venous system of the upper limb that is situated underneath the deep fascia. It is formed by paired veins which accompany and lie on either side of the artery. You can see over here the paired veins which are lying on either side of the artery, either on front, or they are intercommunicating with each other also. These paired veins, just like this, they are lying on either side, and at various points they are communicating with each other through the twigs passing either anterior or posterior to the main trunk of the artery. In the upper extremity, the deep veins share the name of the artery they are accompanying. मतलब जो deeper veins हैं, वो ulnar veins, the radial veins, and here in the upper part, the brachial veins. And there are some perforating veins which I elaborated in the last lecture also. Okay, they run between the deep and the superficial veins of the upper limb, connecting the two systems. They are also present in other parts of the body, like the lower limb, in which they become more prominent in the area of the leg, just above the ankle joint. And when they get dilated and tortuous, and they are then known as the varicose veins. And there are the superficial veins, which we already have the idea. They are the cephalic vein running on the lateral aspect of the forearm, and the basilic vein, they are running on the medial aspect of the forearm. So now we are going towards the nerves of the forearm. The nerves, first of all, coming towards the cutaneous innervation. cutaneous innervation of the forearm, there are two things, which one is the cutaneous nerves and other one is the dermatomes. Cutaneous innervation are the twigs of the nerves which are giving the sensory supply, which are taking the sensory supply, carrying the sensory supply from a particular part of the skin. They are the cutaneous nerves, and other is the dermatome. So dermatome is area of the skin supplied by a single spinal segment. So whenever you are asked to draw and label the cutaneous nerves, so you will write it differently. You will draw the nerve twigs on the skin and name them along with their root value. When the dermatomes are asked, so they are written with their numbers like the C5, C4, cervical के जो shoulder का area that is covered by above the clavicle by supraclavicular nerves, area of the deltoid, the round of the shoulder जो है that is covered by the C5 and the C6 and 7. They travel straight in the length of the arm, in the length of the upper limb, up to the dorsum of the hand. So lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, which is branch of the musculocutaneous nerve, and medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm, which is branch of the medial cord of the brachial plexus, and the other one posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm, which is from the radial nerve. So musculocutaneous from the lateral cord and medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm from the medial cord, and the posterior cutaneous nerve of the arm from the posterior cord, rather the radial nerve से, they are supplying the cutaneous innervation to the front of the forearm. So main cutaneous के बाद जो muscular supply है and the main nerves which are involved in the function of the nerves and in the function of the hand and the fingers. Now we are coming towards this. Okay, beta, you are with me listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Last time it happened because there was an interruption of the sound, and since then, after a short pause, I do ask whether the network is going regularly and properly. Okay, now we are moving towards the median nerve. Median nerve जो है we trace the brachial plexus by locating the median nerve from its firm card-like feel. We lift it up and we go up, and it is having a medial root from the medial cord and a lateral root from the lateral cord. So these two roots are enclosing the axillary artery. So it is easy for us to locate the medial and lateral cords, and from there the median nerve. It travels along the brachial artery in the arm and reaches the level of the cubital fossa, and it passes between the two heads of the pronator teres. Next, it continues down behind the flexor digitorum superficialis and rests posteriorly on the flexor digitorum profundus. Or at the wrist, the median nerve emerges from the lateral border of the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle and lies behind the tendon of the palmaris longus. It enters the palm by passing behind the flexor retinaculum. यानी कि ये axillary artery से formed by the joining of the medial and lateral roots from the medial and lateral cords moves as such in the arm. No particular branch is given in the arm and moves down in front of the cubital fossa and also in the forearm, where it starts giving branches to various muscles. At the level of the wrist, ये लेटरल बॉर्डर ऑफ फ्लेक्सर डिजिटल सुपरफिशियलिस से निकल के ये palmaris longus के टेंडन के पीछे आ जाती है and then passes deep to the flexor retinaculum, to enter the palm. यही वो जगह है जहाँ पे if it is compressed by some swelling, by some accumulation of fluid, or by the flexor retinaculum, so this gives a syndrome, very important syndrome, which is known as the carpal tunnel syndrome. अब इसकी branches, so there are muscular branches which are to the in the forearm. जैसा मैंने बताया कि आर्म में ये कोई significant branch नहीं दे रही, but it travels all the way from the arm to the cubital fossa as such. पूरी पूरी सालों में नीचे आ जाती है. It gives muscular branches to the pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and the flexor digitum superficialis. ये इनकी muscular branches हैं. Articular branches at the elbow देती है. Then is the anterior interosseous nerve, and then is the palmar cutaneous branch. This arises in the lower part of the forearm and is distributed to the skin of the lateral part of the palm, because lateral 2/3 of the palm is supplied by the superficial branch of the median, and lateral median 1/3 is supplied by the superficial branch of the ulnar. So, the flow chart of the median nerve moving along the brachial artery here at the level of the cubital fossa. It is giving branches, initially muscular branches of the pronator teres, then the branches to the flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor digitum superficialis, and other branches are giving to the flexor pollicis longus and half of the flexor digitum profundus. Flexor digitum profundus is a hybrid muscle. It is having lateral part is supplied by the median and its medial part that is supplied by the ulnar. So ये जो है digital profundus से hybrid muscle है. And then the branch to the pronator quadratus. Then it gives branches to the wrist and lower radioulnar joint. उसको भी ये supply दे रही है. This is the flow chart of the median nerve in the forearm. The muscular branches to the common flexor area and the D muscles, digital flexor pollicis longus, digital profundus, and pronator quadratus. Then the wrist joint and the lower radioulnar joint. जो interosseous membrane है, that is also known as middle radioulnar joint. उसको middle radioulnar joint भी बोला जाता है. Coming towards the flexor retinaculum, then it gives a palmar cutaneous branch which travels superficial, and the median nerve itself goes to the palm. Deep to the flexor retinaculum, and it gives branches to the first and second lumbrical and the palmar skin and the dorsal nail bed of the lateral 3.5 digits. So this is the flow chart and the schematic supply diagram of the median nerve in the forearm. And the common clinical problem here at this point जो है वो ये कि median nerve is compressed here at this level. Median nerve चूँकि main flexor compartment के muscles को supply दे रही है, all the muscles were involved in vigorous muscular work by the hand and the forearm. So this is also known as the laborer's nerve. Now, other branch of the interior of the median is the anterior interosseous, and this arises from the median nerve and it passes down to the anterior aspect of the interosseous membrane between flexor pollicis longus and flexor digitum profundus, and it ends on the anterior surface of the carpus, यानी कि जहाँ पे flexor retinaculum ब्रिज कर रहा है कार्पस को, कार्पल बोन्स को, ends at this level. इसकी भी there are muscular branches to the flexor pollicis longus, pronator quadratus and the lateral half of the flexor digitorum profundus. तो मीडियन नर्व जो है इन मसल्स को सप्लाई थ्रू इट्स एंटीरियर इंट्रोसिस नर्व दे रही है, क्योंकि डीप ग्रुप ऑफ मसल इज सप्लाइड बाय anterior transverse branch of the median nerve, and the articular branches to the wrist and the distal radial nerve joint. It also supplies joints of the hand. So median traveling in the arm, reaching the level of the forearm and the wrist, gives the muscular branches and the main anterior trochleus of the superficial group that is supplied by the median nerve itself, while the deep group of the anterior compartment of the forearm, the three muscles, they are supplied by the anterior interosseous nerve, which branch of the median nerve. The ulnar nerve, as we are aware of, के main continuation of the medial cord of brachial plexus है ये, और ये along with the radial artery, brachial artery, ये travel करती है and it reaches the level of the wrist elbow joint, where it passes behind the medial epicondyle between the two heads of between the two muscles. ये flexor carpi ulnaris के दो हेड्स के दरमियान से पास कर रही है and behind the medial epicondyle, and it gives various muscular branches, various articular branches, and main distribution is in the hand. This is the flow chart and diagrammatic representation of the supply by the ulnar nerve. जो है ये passing behind the two heads of the flexor carpi ulnaris, it runs down, then runs down in the forearm between flexor carpi ulnaris and the flexor digitorum profundus at the in the distal part, 2/3 of the forearm. Ulnar artery जो है lies on the lateral side of the ulnar nerve. Or at the wrist, ulnar nerve becomes superficial and lies between the tendons of flexor carpi ulnaris and flexor digitorum superficialis. The ulnar nerve enters the palm of the hand by passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum. In front and back, they are the words in the book, but the main thing is when the arm is pronated, the forearm is pronated, then the ulnar nerve goes instead of in front, goes on back of the flexor retinaculum. So it is better to use the word superficial and deep. So passing in front of the flexor retinaculum, later to the pisiform bone, it enters the palm. It gives various branches here to the flexor carpi ulnaris and the medial half of the flexor digitorum profundus. इस तरह मैं बताया कि lateral half of digitorum profundus, which is the hybrid muscle. The main hybrid muscle in the arm is the digitorum profundus, while in the lower limb it is adductor magnus. So this hybrid muscle is having nerve supply by the median and the ulnar nerve. So medial half of the flexor digitorum profundus is supplied by the ulnar nerve, and then it gives articular branches to the elbow joint and the palmar cutaneous branch. Palmar cutaneous branch is a small branch which supplies skin over the hypothenar eminence and the lateral 1.5 of the hand also. And the dorsal cutaneous branch is the larger one, which passes medially between tendons of the flexor carpi ulnaris and the ulna and is distributed on the posterior surface of hand and the fingers. So एक palmar cutaneous branch है, एक dorsal cutaneous branch है, एक articular twigs to the elbow and the muscular branches which are to the flexor carpi ulnaris and medial half of the flexor digitorum profundus, यानी कि forearm में इसकी दो muscular branches हैं. Rest of its distribution is in the hand mainly. So this is the flow chart of the ulnar nerve. Starting from here, the medial cord of brachial plexus, along with the posterior aspect and medial side of the arm, traveling down to the medial epicondyle between two heads of the flexor carpi ulnaris, giving articular twigs to the elbow joint, and then the muscular branches to the flexor carpi ulnaris, medial half of flexor digitorum profundus, and then the flexor carpi ulnaris. Then it gives a palmar cutaneous branch, and it goes to supply the muscles of the hand, which are the intrinsic muscles mainly. तो एक dorsal cutaneous branch होगी, एक palmar cutaneous branch होगी, and the deep branches which are supplying initially to the wrist joint, then the flexor digiti minimi on the hypothenar, abductor digiti minimi of the hypothenar, opponent digiti minimi of the hypothenar. So the three muscles, the hypothenar eminence, flexor digiti minimi, abductor digiti minimi, and opponent digiti minimi. They are supplied by the deep terminal branch of the ulnar nerve. Then it is supplying the muscles which are the intrinsic muscle, other intrinsic muscles of the hand, which are the lumbricals and the interossei. So it is giving muscular branch to the third palmar interosseous and the fourth dorsal interosseous also. Along with that, the two medial lumbricals, and then the adductor pollicis, which is the muscle in the deep layer of the thenar eminence, and the flexor pollicis brevis. These are supplied by the deep terminal branch of the ulnar nerve. The adductor pollicis and flexor pollicis brevis, they are the muscles of the thenar eminence. The other muscles of the thenar eminence कौन से हैं? Opponens pollicis and abductor pollicis brevis. They are muscles of the thenar. Thenar के चार हैं, mainly तीन superficial and one deep, which is towards this side. And hypothenar के तीन और thumb से related चार हैं. So coming toward the muscular branches of the deep terminal branch of the ulnar, they are supplied to the wrist joint, the articular twigs, and then the flexor digiti minimi, abductor digiti minimi, opponens in the hypothenar eminence, then the third palmar interosseous and the third palmar interossei and the four dorsal interossei. All palmar and dorsal interossei, they are supplied by the ulnar nerve. That's the reason when the clump paralysis, when the CAT1 is damaged, all these muscles, they run short of the supply and they undergo the trophic changes. जिसे कहते हैं muscles जो हैं, they dry up, they decrease in the muscle bulk, and they stop functioning. And then the medial two lumbricals are also supplied by the ulnar. The latter two lumbricals, they are supplied by the median nerve, and the muscles of the thumb, which are deeper one, adductor pollicis and the flexor pollicis brevis, that is sometimes more often supplied by the deep terminal branch of the ulnar. Ulnar की जो यहाँ पे passing in front of the flexor retinaculum एक palmar cutaneous branch है, supply the skin of the medial aspect of the palm, and then the palmaris longus and palmaris brevis muscle occasionally present, and then the dorsal cutaneous branch, which is supplying the skin of the dorsum of the hand and 1.5 digits of the little and the ring finger. Little की पूरी and ring finger का 1/2 part है. So this is distribution course of the ulnar nerve, and ulnar nerve when damaged either at the level of the lower trunk of the brachial plexus are at the level of जिसको क्लम्पकीज पैरालिसिस कहते हैं are here at the level of the medial epicondyle in case of accident, in case of fracture, or in case of the sharp edge injury by a glass or some metal object that can lead towards a condition which is known as claw hand. claw hand में क्या होता है कि जब as you are aware of from the dorsal digital expansion or extensor expansion जो है that is found by the interossei and the lumbricals. उसका main function है extensor expansion का that flexes the MP joint and extends the IP joints. But if it is damaged, then there is hyperextension at the MP and flexion at the IP joints. This leads to a condition which is known as the claw hand. So this is all about our topic of today. I hope you have got all of that. Any question out of this presentation if you want to ask? जी बच्चों.
यस सर, रेडियल आर्टरी एक दफा दोबारा समझा दें.
रेडियल आर्टरी here we are coming towards the radial artery. It is the lateral terminal branch of the brachial and it is taking part in anastomosis at the elbow joint also and is supplying the muscles in the forearm and at the level of the wrist. It gives articular tweaks to the wrist and divides into two terminal branches. One is the superficial branch, other is the deep branch. Superficial branch takes part with the direct continuation of the ulnar artery to form the superficial palmar arch. और जो deep branch है that takes part with the deep branch of the ulnar artery to form the deep palmar arch. इसके अलावा इनकी ब्रांचेस हैं वो dorsal and palmar जो नेटवर्क होता है आर्च का dorsal palmar arch and the palmar कार्पल आर्च जो है dorsal carpal and the palmar carpal यानी कि जो रिस्ट जॉइंट के फ्रंट पे है दैट इज द palmar carpal और रिस्ट जॉइंट के जो बैक पे है वो dorsal carpal आर्च है उसमें भी इनकी ब्रांचेस कंट्रीब्यूट करती हैं. और रेडियल आर्टरी की जो क्लिनिकल सिग्निफिकेंस है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स द पल्स ऑफ द पेशेंट इज फेल्ट बाय द रेडियल पल्स है. देयर आर अदर पल्सेस आल्सो यू विल स्टडी इन द लोअर लिम्ब एंड इन thorax, but the commonest pulse which is felt all over is the radial pulse near the lower end of the forearm on the lateral aspect of the wrist joint just above this radial pulse is felt. और इसकी clinical significance ये है कि it is most of the times used in coronary angiography and the arterial sheath and the cannula that is inserted through this artery and that travels up the radial trunk, then the brachial trunk, then the axillary, then the subclavian, and then that reaches the brachiocephalic trunk and the ascending aorta, and then reaches at the root of the aorta, and whichever artery is to be cannulated वहाँ से वो की जाती है. And then the arterial sheath, flexible fiber optic arterial sheath that is taken back. Anything else? Any question other than this? You got it, beta?
Yes sir. Yes
Okay.
sir.
That's all about today's topic. It has been covered with elaboration and in detail, and a sort of revision of the previous topic is also there, previous presentation. Okay, Allah Hafiz.
medial cubital vein का सर concept है जो थोड़ा सा.
Medial cubital vein बच्चे हियर एट दिस लेवल ये जो सुपरफिशियल वेन्स में वन इज द इस तरफ आ रही होती है बेसिक वेन और इधर ट्रैवल कर रही होती है सेफेलिक वेन. Here at this level, in the front of the cubital fossa, they by traveling along the sides of communicate with each other here at this level through a smaller channel which is known as the medial cubital vein. So that connects the cephalic and the basilic system of veins, and this is known as the medial cubital vein here at this level. वो सुपरफिशियल वेन्स में उसकी डायग्राम थी लास्ट प्रेजेंटेशन में.
जी सर, थैंक यू.
और
सर
जी
सर स्पेस ऑफ गायन के बारे में बता दें.
जो गायंस टनल है ना, गायंस GYONS है, यही कह रहे हैं ना आप?
यस सर.
जी भाई, वो आपने आपको कार्पल बोन्स किन्होंने पढ़ाई थी? कार्पल बोन्स किन्होंने पढ़ाई थी आपको?
सर नाम नहीं याद.
पढ़ी थी ना आपने कार्पल बोन्स?
डॉक्टर इकरा ने.
अच्छा, here at this level, इसमें कार्बन आपकी डायग्राम है. Stay on in touch for a while. मैं आपको पूरी वो proximal row of carpal bones है ना, which takes part in formation of the wrist joint, उसमें scaphoid lunate जाती है. यहाँ पे आती है scaphoid lunate, tracheotomy and pisiform. वो उन्होंने सीक्वेंस बताया होगा सोफिया लॉरेंट टिंडे का. और सेकंड रो जो है ट्रेपेजियम ट्रेपेजाइड कैपिटेट हेमेट टिंडे तेरे कच्चे हैं. ये सीक्वेंस याद रखने के लिए. तो जो हेमेट है ना सेकंड रो में, और पिसिफॉर्म बोन द फर्स्ट रो में होती है, जो ट्रैक्योटोमी के साथ आर्टिकुलेट करती है. हियर एट दिस लेवल पहले पिसिफॉर्म होती है, देन सेकंड रो में हेमेट होती है. तो देयर इज ए जॉइंट और लिगामेंट व्हिच स्ट्रेचेस बिटवीन द पिसिफॉर्म बोन एंड द hook of the hamate. So that is known as the pisohamate ligament, and this is a sort of tunnel is formed here at this level, जिसको Guyon's space या Guyon's tunnel कहते हैं, कि pisohamate ligament on the front and the tracheotomy and the hamate bone on the back. This forms the space which is known as the Guyon's space या Guyon's tunnel. इसमें जो सुपरफिशियल ब्रांच ऑफ द अल्नर नर्व गुजरती है ना, दैट गेट्स कंप्रेस्ड. और जिस तरह एक मीडियन नर्व की कंप्रेशन उधर आती है इन केस ऑफ द कार्पल टनल सिंड्रोम, इस तरह यहाँ पे भी गायंस टनल सिंड्रोम भी आती है. तो उसको इसका इम्प्लीकेशन है गायंस स्पेस, गायंस टनल एंड गायंस टनल सिंड्रोम व्हेन द सुपरफिशियल ब्रांच ऑफ द अल्नर नर्व इज कंप्रेस्ड हियर एट दिस लेवल. So this gives rise to the numbness, paresthesia, burning sensation in the area which is supplied by the superficial branch of the ulnar nerve. So that is known as Guyon's tunnel syndrome. और इस जगह को Guyon's space या Guyon's tunnel कहा जाता है.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Sufficient बेटा. ये जो KLM की डायग्राम है ना कार्पस की विद द लिगामेंट्स, आप उसमें से भी लोकेट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन थ्योरी यही है जो आप बताइए आपको.
ओके सर.
Anything else? Okay, Allah Hafiz. That's all now.
अल्लाह हाफिज.
अल्लाह हाफ़िज़ सर.